Akulmach, and today in the show Leader's Voice, we will be discussing about a very interesting topic, and the topic is Goblin Mode. To discuss this topic, we have Mr. Sitesh Srivastav, who is a quite prominent industry leader. So, without wasting any further moment, let's welcome him and listen to his viewpoint on this topic, Goblin Mode. Welcome to the show, Sitesh. It is always so wonderful to talk to you. So, how you are today?
Hey, Kanchan, nice always to talk to you. You see, life is so tough. This is what I just thought, let me do something that defines our topic today. So, what do you see?
So I think there is something which you are doing, and this has not been allowed, especially on a show. And I think this is the topic Goblin Effect, which we will be discussing. And yeah, it is quite a wonderful topic. So you just tell me how you seen professional or maybe a non-professional people who are not working, but they are indulged or maybe they are affected by Goblin way of working.
Well, Kanchan, Oxford Dictionary thought of defining this whole 2022 with just one word. I mean, it is so tough job, and they figured out they actually did 3 words, and they sent it out. And the first time in their history, they wanted people to poll about those which of the words they can define this whole 2022. And interestingly, the words were meta words, and the other was I stand with, and the third one was Goblin Mode. And then this, staggering 93% vote came for the Goblin Mode, and that's what I wanted to discuss. In our Hindi, we say, "Usko aaj bhoot chadh gaya hai." आज उसके दिमाग पे ना कोई भूत चढ़ा है या आज उसके सर पे माता आई हुई है. This is the term that we have used in our language, and now today the world says, the Oxford University press says that a Goblin Mode. So kind of a out of the blue behavior, laziness, eating the dinner at 3 a.m. in the morning, something like that. So out of the place, we all feel sometimes to do some weird things in our daily life, and that is what has been defined as Goblin Mode. But the way it has defined for the whole 2022 is something that I really thought that I must discuss with you. What do you think?
Yes, actually, all the contents or all whatever you are talking about, it is already there. But I think maybe this Goblin Effect has come under focus, under lens, maybe after COVID, when people were inside their home and they were not, if you talk about professionalism, so it is less of professionalism, and that is being carried forward. This is what I feel.
Yes. So, with this pandemic, this corona, and people are still coming out of it. Some people have still not come out of it. Companies are trying to bring people to offices. People have got into the habit of, living half dressed, whichever half you can consider at that particular moment. And therefore, the anxiety around this, is still, while I was, in Delhi and I was coming back, and when I went from Bangalore, some people are having masks, some people are still very finicky about coming closer, and some people are just over as being so close and talking and shaking hands. Still, people suddenly realize that, oh, I have to do sanitization, and some people are just free. So you see lots of people into their own thinking, and they don't mind showcasing it at any place, in a public place or their personal space. So basically, the Goblin Mode is a state of mind where you feel try to do something which is out of convention. So if you Google it out, Kanchan, it will show you in Hindi, Bhoot mode. It is the Bhoot mode. So when हमारे सर पे जब भूत सवार होता है, it comes from there. And and since it is a two-word, basically, Goblin Mode, so basically it is a phrase that defines these last 12 months. And this is something interesting for not just for our personal space understanding, also for the corporate world. How does it impact? Can it only have a negative impact, or does it push creativity? Because when we have known, Kanchan, that artists go into different kind of time zones, different kind of setups to create some wonderful ideas, right? And therefore, we cannot discard a Goblin Mode only as a negative behavior. Sometimes, can it be harnessed to achieve something into the productivity, into creativity? And if that we can do, I think we have achieved at least the first step of our discussion today.
Well, I think this Goblin Mode, which is quite a new term, but it was already existed, and I think it is a kind of a way of thinking, and in the mind, it is always there with the humankind, and often, time to time, it was being depicted, demonstrated by people, for good or for bad. So we have to really analyze that how positively we can use this mode and believe in that, and it can give a better output. Actually, that's what I'm understanding. What do you say?
Kanchan, I am observing this is the students around, this is the board exams are around the corner, some final exams are there for college people and the schools. And you see, every student is trying to learn in their own specific way. Now, there are standard patterns of learning, but some students would learn late in the night. Some way they will make their notes. Some will put it somewhere in their, in front of them as a blackboard. There's no standard way of learning because each student is different. But some students will go out of the way, unconventional. Suddenly, I remember a student whom I know closely say, at 2:30 a.m., can you make coffee for me? I just want to finish up my course. Now, this would not look very normal, but this can be termed into this category called Goblin Mode, right? In the corporate world, sometimes we are stuck with certain decisions for days and days and weeks and weeks, and then suddenly we realize that someday while strolling or talking to some or going into an event, and suddenly that strikes. Oh, it can happen in this way. So there are many such examples where the word Goblin Mode can definitely be used in a very, very positive way. But of course, it will always have its fun part of it also. Weirdness part as well. But fun part is also always there. And generally we see this while we are traveling abroad, in different cultures, the same thing can be done in a different way and it would look really funny, right? What do you think?
Well, I was just thinking, I just want to ask you, out of curiosity, have you ever witnessed Goblin Mode for yourself? Have you really done anything so vague, and maybe as normal days you don't follow that regime?
Well, Kanchan, yes, I would like to, be 100% prepared for any meeting or any radio recording or video recording. I want to come prepared, but we live in a distracted world. Time goes from here to there. So sometimes, I can tell you in some of those recordings that I have done, I have done those recordings at very, very unusual places, while traveling, while going up and down in the elevator. Okay. While sometimes I have done a recording in a parking lot because that is the best place to find peace in the office times. Okay. sometimes it has been, you need to find your groove, and to whatever takes you to find that groove is something that can be termed into this. And of recently, I have always running from one meeting to another meeting, you have to sound authentic in all the meetings, right? So you have to think somewhere, a place where you think you can consolidate those things. It could be in any way. It could be anyway. Somebody says that I want to have Maggie at 12 a.m. in the night to consolidate all my thoughts.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I would invite my viewers to really put forward their views and their comments and what they think about this term and behavior, because we cannot categorize this into bad or good behavior. This is behavior which is there. Somehow everybody is being affected by it and how they react. So this is what I look forward from the viewers. And as usual, Siddesh, it is a lovely subject to pick up and to talk about, and I look forward for a very interesting topic maybe next Saturday.
Oh, no. I will not leave you. You have to tell one of your examples of this Goblin Mode.
Well, I have kids actually, so when I'm normal, that means a normal. When I'm dealing with my kids, I am always in a Goblin mode, because I'm a very entirely different personality when I'm dealing with my small kids. So this is what I can tell you.
Right. So it was nice speaking to you always, and it's very interesting. I think our listeners would also appreciate that we bring some of the very sensitive as well as fun and behavioral subjects to them. And I think once they respond, it should be always good to talk to them.
Yes, and we are ready to.
We had a quite interesting discussion with Mr. Siddesh Srivastav, and as usual, I would look forward regarding your viewpoint on this topic, which is Goblin Mode. And we'll be meeting again next Saturday. Till then, be happy and keep doing good work. Bye-bye.